And before we jump in, a quick thanks to the sponsors supporting this episode of the Make It Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Factor, delivering chef-crafted, dietitian-designed meals ready in minutes, and Anthropic, the creators of Claude AI, designed to help you think, create, and build more effectively. Now, on to today's episode.
I mean, Nick, when I would break up with a girl, I would give her a gift bag.
He's like, at least I extended
You
that.
know what I mean?
Good. You know?
He's like, come on, it's been a great relationship.
You
It's not going to work out.
Seriously, Chris, you did. You're a liar.
You're right. No. See, Amy, you gotta understand. The gift bag was all the stuff they left in his place, and he didn't.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
And I am your come on, Negro, Nicholas Buggs. What's up, folks?
Good to see you, Nick. And with us is our incredibly esteemed guest, the one and only Amy Hill. Amy, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
There she is. And guiding us on this podcasting adventure, per usual, is producer Papa Bear. With your locks out, you look good, man.
Yeah, it's a locks out day.
Like sun's out, guns out. I don't know what goes with locks out, man. It's a whole other thing.
Nobody else can get in.
Where is everyone, by the way? Where are you all located?
This is a great question. So I'm sitting in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Nick, where are you sitting?
I'm sitting in amazing and gorgeous Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Wow.
And PB.
I'm sitting in beautiful Spring Hill, Tennessee, just south of Nashville.
This is a suburb of Nashville. So, yeah, we're kind of all over, which is kind of why.
What about you, Amy?
I'm in beautiful Honolulu, overlooking the ocean. Yeah.
All right.
We love Honolulu.
So, yeah, I'm very blessed. But, these are places I would love to visit at some point in my life.
Whoa. Yeah, you come to Nashville, let us know, and
I will.
We'll show you around. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you come up here to Gaithersburg, then you're going to get to hang out with the Hawaiians, because my whole family on my wife's side is Hawaiian. So, you get to have some Hawaiian love up in the mainland.
Oh, that's always good. Hawaiian love is the best.
Yeah,
I only visit Nick to get spam musubi. It's the only time I want to go up there so I can get spam musubi. The most naughty treat possible. It is. If you haven't had that, folks, you should look that up and eat that. And now you can only have it once or twice a year.
Yeah, I was in Mexico doing a film recently.
What part of Mexico?
I love Mexican food, but 2 weeks in, I was like, I gotta. So I had to really work hard to find rice, spam, and seaweed. And I made everybody spam musubi, all the cast and crew.
Wow.
Oh, they were in for a treat.
Loved you.
What if they don't like it?
No, you have to like spam musubi. Come on, you have no choice.
Teriyaki sauce solves all the ishes. I think
it does.
Where in Mexico were you, Amy?
Mérida in the Yucatan.
Yeah. Yep. Know exactly where that's at. I have a bunch of friends that are from there. Our parents still live there, and they drive there all the time. So that's great. The other thing, so Nick, I'm glad you mentioned your Hawaiian background there. I was one of the things I was going to mention to Amy. The other thing is, and I just have to get this out of the way up front, or face the penalty of death. My youngest daughter is the biggest fan of Just Add Magic.
Yay.
And when I told her that I would be speaking to you, or that we'd be speaking today, I think she almost fainted.
That's serious.
I believe it.
That's serious.
Yeah, she had the best freak out. I wish I had it on video. I'd send it to you. And this is a show that I've been watching with her, and we have been watching with her for years and years and years, and you're so fantastic on the show. So I wanted to
Okay.
make sure you knew that right away. Now, for the audience who may not
Yes.
be aware, let me read a little short bio. All right.
Oh,
Amy Hill is a prolific character actress who first captured audiences as the beloved grandmother on Margaret Show's groundbreaking sitcom All American Girl, and has since appeared in popular films such as 50 First Dates and The Cat in the Hat. With an extensive career spanning over 230 television and film credits, she is also a celebrated voice actor, lending her talents to animated classics like Lilo and Stitch and King of the Hill. A seasoned theater artist and award-winning performer, go check out Tokyo Bound if you can find it, by the way. Amy continues to grace the screen in numerous recurring roles while enjoying her life in Honolulu, Hawaii. And there
very
we
nice.
go. And so, with that, I would love to hop into our first segment of the show, Amy. Story is king. You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Can you tell everybody where you were born?
I was born in Deadwood, South Dakota.
Right. Which
Picturesque Deadwood.
Deadwood?
Yeah, I was like,
The name
I'm like,
says it all.
wow.
Next door to
Okay.
Livewood.
Yeah. I mean, it was very beautiful. It's like, that television show Bonanza? We had, like,
Yeah.
streams, beautiful canyons, and lots of it was very green. It was in the Black Hills. The Black Hills is really gorgeous. So, as a child but I had no there were no people. So, I
Is
had
it
no
is
Wow.
I was
is it
not
a military
socialized.
town, Amy?
Pardon?
Is it a military town? I know there's a lot
No,
of
no,
military
not at
south of
all.
North Dakota.
No, it's the farming community. My father didn't he was Finnish American, but was born into this Finnish farming community, so he didn't even speak English until he went to school. So he always
Wow.
spoke Finnish to people around. When I was there, he spoke Finnish to his relatives, and then so I know how to count to 10 in Finnish. Um,
Hmm.
and then but he was in the military and was in the occupation forces where he met my mom
Yeah.
and fell in love, and then my mom was, I think, maybe thinking it'd be great to go to the United States and then ended up in Deadwood. Oh,
Again,
what?
as
It's like,
producer Papa Bear
This
wah,
is
mentioned,
like a
right
wah.
movie.
outside of Burning Wood. So it's all just a bunch of towns. By the way, guys, just Google it, just GPT it. There's a whole lot of
Yeah.
towns in South Dakota. One's called Deadwood, one's called Lovewood, one's called Burning Wood. There's all these places. Just go look them up. Just trust us. You don't have to actually don't look it up. Just trust. Uh, Speaking of your dad and your mom, I
Mm.
am curious if you could, can you describe your household in 3 words growing up?
I
Like,
Love
what was it like?
Lucy.
I Love Lucy.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
it was just like I related to I Love Lucy because the miscommunication, the
Mhm.
2 cultures that clashed, but they loved each other.
mhm.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it was crazy and funny growing up.
Did you get a chance to see the biopic that came out a few years ago of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz?
With Frances, Fisher as Lucy?
No, it was Nicole Kidman, I
Oh,
think,
Nicole Kidman. No, I never saw that one.
yeah. I
No.
think it was polarizing for some people, especially for people who sort of grew up with them on TV.
Right,
I really liked it, but I probably didn't have the perspective I needed to have, on all
right.
the history to see if they were being accurate or not, but I love Lucy, which is kind of
No, I Love
I
Lucy.
love Lucy.
I think their
Um,
behind the scenes probably was not so great,
mm,
but the stuff that they showed, the sitcom part of it was
Mhm.
kind of my family.
yeah.
Very
It was a
intimate.
it's a great show, and it's very, very layered, and there's a way to look at that show for just pure entertainment, and there's a way to
Mhm.
look at the show as a sort of a tome for the times, like, just
Right,
when you think about, like, all the machinations that Lucy had to go through to just get what she wanted, which was just a sort of a slice of happiness,
right.
right? All the mischief happened because she lived in the society she lived in with the station in life that she sorta had.
Right.
And it's an interesting way to look at it. I like to just look at it to laugh, like, but there is also that layer. And, I
Right.
would say another show like that to me, it's not like it, but maybe underrated that we don't talk about enough, like I Love Lucy, that's, like, super funny and super great is Golden Girls. I think Golden Girls is a show that history is gonna be very, very kind to on the greatness scale.
Right.
Um,
Well, they're both kind of groundbreaking because nobody would think that, 4 old ladies living together would be anything anybody wanted to watch.
yeah,
But we
it
all
was
have, grandmothers or aunts that are a little they're all so this it was funny. And, um, I Love Lucy was groundbreaking because, you know, I'm sure there was racism
Mhm.
yeah. Oh,
for
yeah,
sure. I
no
mean, it
no
was very difficult
question.
for them to get greenlit because he was Cuban and she was white.
Mhm.
And to
Yeah.
show them as a husband and wife was really groundbreaking, and my parents were an interracial marriage, which in many states was, you know, illegal.
Yeah.
So, uh, having that on television sort of made my family legitimate.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I grew up in a biracial household as well,
Mhm.
and, I don't think interracial marriage, at least between black people and white people, but I think that interracial marriage in general wasn't legal in the state of Tennessee until 1970
Yeah, exactly.
68.
or 68? 68? Okay, yeah, something like that. It's really late in
Exact
the story for them
yeah.
to pass that law. It probably wasn't tolerated very well until, like, the '80s, but yeah,
No.
that was
And these are
the
issues we're
situation.
still, dealing with that I mean, they'd like to roll back everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Make everything I mean, who wants to why would you legislate love? I mean, really.
It
Yeah,
it's
and yeah,
it's
and isn't it
yeah,
crazy, Chris,
it
though,
needs to go away, right,
how
Nick?
it worked out? Yeah, but how did it just work out that you asked Amy to describe her household in 3 words, and that television show just happens to be 3 words. This is one of the
Exactly.
kismet, universe, synchronicity. It's beautiful. I love it.
I
Me
do
too.
well put, Nick. I love that as well, and it does lead me along this path because here you have a show that you guys are all watching that you love because it reflects your family. You're growing up in this beautiful place, but there aren't a lot of people around, and it does make me and maybe the audience very curious. What was the moment that you knew you were gonna spend your life in entertainment? Do you
Well,
remember
that
that
was
one moment?
well, I, when I so I when I we were in Deadwood, we had a television, and basically I watched a lot of television, and I'd recreate all of the scenes and all of the characters by myself. So my
Oh.
mother basically thought that I maybe needed therapy
Mm.
'cause I was acting so crazy. And then when we moved to Seattle when I was 6. So
Mhm.
there was a Japanese community and a Finnish community, so my parents both had what they needed,
Hmm.
and there was food, Japanese food, and that was really very important to my mom. Um, but I didn't feel like because I didn't see anything that reflected my experience on television or film
Mhm.
until I was, probably in middle school, maybe earlier, but Nancy Kwan was a
Yeah.
big, light that made me think, "Oh, maybe I could do this." And I had a name for myself now, I was Eurasian, which is very
Oh, yeah.
fancy. No,
There is a
Eurasian.
sorta savoir faire to that, right? Like,
Mhm.
alright.
And there was France Nguyen. There were people that sort of reflected my background, and they were, beautiful and doing great work. But I still didn't feel like it was my destiny because, I still anyway. So I just performed for the neighbors. I created my own shows and did everything just privately. And then it wasn't until high school that I was brave enough to take a drama class. And that's when
Yeah,
everything switched. Then I thought, this is something I can do. Theater. I was in
yeah.
every play in high school and I was, planning to go to Carnegie Mellon. I think uh that was they had a really good theater program, but I also wanted to leave Seattle, so I moved for university to Tokyo because my mom suggested that would be a good place. And I went,
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
wow.
Yeah, I went to university there. And then I fell in love. I did radio and television when I was there, but it wasn't until maybe the late 70s I thought I needed to go back to pursuing
Hmm.
acting seriously. So I moved to San Francisco with my then husband, Japanese husband, and studied at ACT and did improv and was at the Asian American Theater Company, which was also very exciting because we were creating our own stories. It was very
Right.
political.
Yeah.
So we were writing our own shows, performing in them, directing them. We were a force, uh, a new genre that was exciting. So it was a good time. I
It
still
sounds
didn't
like
know I was gonna make a living, but I did. I ended up making a living.
At least you were having fun.
I
That's
was
right.
having
And
a great
yep.
time. It's when you're in your 20s, all you do that's all you just think, "I don't wanna do anything else. Wake up, do theater, acting, just do this. I don't even care if I get paid," but I did a little bit, and, life was fantastic. I was doing what I love to do, so
it's interesting you mentioned that you at some point in Tokyo, you said, "I really need to take this seriously. I need to come back and pursue this," and move to San
yeah.
Francisco, and you kept doing that. There's a lot of advice out there that basically says, if you're lost in your 30s or late 20s, sort of close your eyes and try to remember what you said you wanted to be when you were a child and the things you loved doing when you were a child, and that's kind of what you should pursue. And in that story, what I heard was that you were performing from day one for people all the time. And in a way, you did that. You sort of consciously or subconsciously said, the thing I love doing that I've always done my entire life is performing for people. And that's what I need to pursue. So I think that's incredible. By the way, guys, do you know there's only one article of clothing that doesn't sell well in Seattle? You know what it is?
The thong.
Nick? No? Papa Bear?
The overcoat?
No? Amy?
It-
Umbrellas.
Silk shirt. Silk shirt.
That is so weird.
No use for
Just
a silk
if
shirt in
you're from
Seattle.
Seattle, you don't use an umbrella.
No?
Nobody uses umbrellas. No! But you
She's
gotta be from out of town if you're
a
using an
sign of weakness.
I guess
that's
it
a
is.
sign of
Yeah,
weakness.
got it.
It
Okay.
doesn't rain that hard. It's mostly just misting or drizzling, so everybody
Mm,
has raincoats, like
Every time I've been to
REI is
Seattle,
saying.
it's like sudden
I
Nobody
rain.
like it.
nobody Yeah,
Sudden.
I never carried an umbrella in Seattle.
Well, thank you for telling us that
Yeah,
because I'd be
do it.
mad if I was there. Yep. And I'm like the only one looking around like,
Well, you're
why is
gonna
everybody
get wet,
looking at me
Nick.
like this?
He's from here.
You're gonna get wet, Nick, if you go without that
Yeah.
umbrella. But
Yeah.
the truth is it surprises you. I remember I was there one time in August and it was 90 degrees.
That's the
And
only month that's nice.
yeah, it was, but I'm saying, Amy, it was 90 degrees. I'm walking outside. Everyone's zooming by on their bikes. Everyone's in casual clothes. It rains for 10 minutes straight, torrential.
And
And
they
then it
don't
just
care.
stops. And it's 90 degrees again.
Yeah, nobody
What just
cares.
happened?
Rain means nothing there.
It doesn't. I'm telling you,
No,
it clearly doesn't.
but
I can
sun, if
say
it even a
firsthand.
little bit of sun, people go out and lay in the sun trying to get a tan.
Wow.
Good luck.
It's crazy.
Good
Yeah,
luck there.
I'm glad I left. I mean, I love growing up in Seattle is good, but I could never go back. I mean, I think back to my childhood and I think, was I depressed or was it just overcast?
Like my life was so dark and gloomy.
Gloomy. Wait a minute.
Right.
Is that in here? That was good, Amy. I love that. So you, just as you sort of laid out for us, you've been doing this a while and consistently and at a high level. Do you have any advice that you live by that you could share with maybe?
I say yes. Just say yes. Because in improv,
Mhm,
what you learn is that your story cannot move forward unless you say yes.
mhm,
So, I feel like that's, just across the board in any kind of anything. I guess, you gotta think about what you're saying yes to, like if a guy says that you don't even know, says, "I'll give you a ride home," and you say, "No," maybe is a good idea. But other than that, uh, yes opens the door to something that you don't expect. So when I was living in San Francisco, one of the plays that I did early on was I played a Filipina matriarch. I
Yeah,
tell this story all the time. And, like, a few days after the show closed, a call came into the theater. They were auditioning for somebody to, be the spokesperson for Philippine Airlines, and they wanted to know if anybody could do a Filipino accent, and so I said, "Yes, I can." So I went in, I auditioned, and I became the voice of Philippine Airlines for 6 years. So that was my new
So
thing,
cool.
voiceovers. Didn't know that that existed even.
Yep.
So then I'm sitting in the, waiting room of the studio, and my improv teacher walks in and he says, "Oh, Amy, I didn't know you did voice work." And I said, "Yes, I do." But I only did that one thing. And I ended up, because of him, I became like the top female voice talent in San Francisco. So then I had a really
incredible.
good career and I still did theater. And I mean, it's just like being open and saying yes to whatever opportunity comes, even if you're not sure that it's going to work out.
Yeah,
You just say yes.
Was that your
I'm
foundation?
gonna
Was
write
the
that
voice
down.
work like the foundation to your career so you knew you always had that thing? You know how they say if you wanna, like, live a creative life, they're like, "Well, start out with, one of these more reasonable professions first where you
Well,
can create
if
a
I wanted,
foundation."
yeah. If I had tried to go into voiceovers, I don't know if I would have been able to get anything. It was just because of certain aspects and I was ready. And I'd done little voice stuff in Japan. I had a radio show and
Mhm.
I was comfortable in a studio. And I also did language tapes, this is a banana.
Ooh.
Banana. That kind sounds good,
D
huh?
wait, yeah, do it again. I'm like, I like that, like
Banana.
That could
Just
be a
like the language
narrative.
tape that you heard when growing up, Spanish. Iman, Iman, ¿dónde está Iman?
This is
Aquí está.
perfect, I love this.
Anyway,
I think that fits. That's good.
I did
Yes.
that, and then, but, when I moved to LA, I thought that would be my thing, that I could just
Yep.
get a voice agent. Couldn't get a voice agent.
It's so
Somebody in
hard to
San
get an agent.
Francisco had a I know, I mean, so there's no, like, way of doing things.
It's
You
really a
just
big
don't know.
catch-22 the industry has. I
Yeah,
mean, if I can just
yeah,
hop on a very, very short soapbox, which is to get an agent, you have to be bankable because so the agent can get paid and do all the
right.
things and book you and stuff. But in order to be bankable,
Be
you have to have an
bankable.
agent.
Yeah, so I couldn't get I mean, the voiceover people, I did every cute little thing that I could try to do, and I remember everybody was like, "Well, we only bring on stars," and I went, "Well, ooh, well, I'm new. I made a great living in San Francisco," but one of the big voice talents in San Francisco, male, told his guy to bring me on, so and
Yeah.
the
Okay.
guy
And that
yeah,
and
so, you always
that's
you don't know
why
where they're coming for.
that's why so many young creatives think that there's gatekeepers, and that's why so many young creatives think that success
Mhm.
is like winning the lottery because of just what we said. I mean, it's such a great thing to mention. Um, we just gave a talk, and shout out to the Point of View Student Film Festival. We just gave a talk to a bunch of students, and one of the things that Nick said was that don't network, build relationships. And
Yeah.
we preach that all the time. It was the relationship you built with that individual that got you an agent.
Right, and you don't even anticipate I didn't have a relationship with him in order to get it's
Exactly.
like I'm not networking. I just
Yes.
had people that liked me, and they went out of their way. I mean, so many people along the way have helped me. When I moved to LA, people, there were improvisers and people in San Francisco that had lived in LA and had great people that they said, "Oh, call this person," and they gave me great advice, and I do the same thing. If anybody, DMs me and wants advice on something, let's have lunch. We'll do, because I feel like we got to pay all this stuff forward. Anything I can do to help young people move through this crazy world of acting and theater and stuff, I'm happy to do it because so many people helped me along the way.
I
That's
love that.
awesome.
That's
Yep,
perfect.
that's the way it should be.
I
Yeah.
agree,
I'm
and
happy.
that wraps up Story is King. You did it, Amy.
Oh, good. See? Well, because you guided me through.
That takes
Oh,
us
I
to
I
heard
love
that.
audience
sound
polls.
I
effects.
heard that right in
Yep,
my ear.
yep, yep, there you go. Nick, can you lay out some audience polls for this audience and for Amy? Let's discuss what the people think.
Yeah, let's find out what the people say. So this is a timely one that I wanted to share, and also wanted to really get your thoughts on this. So it's very simple poll. Do you care about the Oscars?
Hmm.
That's the question. Real simple. And there's two options. Option one, of course. Option two, not so much. Okay, real simple. 60% said not so much.
Hmm.
40%
Wow.
said of course.
60,
Now,
40.
what do you think, Amy, about that response?
Well, I think, it's getting to be more, of course, a little bit because, for the longest time, it really felt like, uh, it was fixed. If you had a lot of
Mm,
money and if you were white, there was going to be more opportunities. I think, yeah, it's sort of changing more now. You feel like the smaller films that don't have the huge budget for marketing are getting
Mm.
more attention. I mean, that's that's kind of the game, I guess, in Hollywood. It's really not necessarily the best film wins or the best actor. All those competitions are weird anyway. I mean, they're just weird. Because how do you say best actor? There's so many good
Yeah.
actors doing amazing work, So I guess I'm still in the 60%, not so much.
see, and that's the I
You
had a
get
f
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I had a feeling, and because here's the thing, when I think about the Oscars, and I have for many, many years, I think about it very much for the celebrity, right?
Mhm.
That's what it is. It's a show of the celebrity, and you leverage that opportunity to build your celebrity so that when you do the next film as well, you've got celebrity and people wanna go see it. But then you think about, like you said, all of these great actors and actresses doing other things in these other, you could say, smaller parts or smaller movies, and what's their stage? Right? When
Mm,
do they I mean, because I've seen some great stuff, and you're like, "Well, they're not on that stage. They're not even
right.
nominated."
No.
And you're like, I don't know." Especially if you're a person who loves film, right?
Yes.
That's the thing. If you love film and if you like, for yourself, you're part of it, I'm
Mhm.
sure in your heart of hearts, you're like, "No way." Like, I saw a thing the other day that would have beaten that out, right? Or you were like, being in it, you probably saw stuff in the theater, or you saw stuff in improv where
Yes.
you were moved in a way
Yes.
that maybe these popular movies didn't move you.
Right.
So let me reframe the question a little bit and ask folks that are in your role, like the roles that you play in these supporting actress roles, what do they think about the Oscars?
Hmm.
Well, I think they probably feel the same way that I do. I mean, we live in our own I think, enjoy watching the Oscars to see what, people wear and, that kind of stuff, and then the acceptance speeches sometimes are very, thoughtful and, um, really, uh, so precious, the way
Mhm.
Yeah.
especially the British actors, they always say they're so completely articulate,
Not this year.
right? Not this year? Anyway,
You saw the
um,
BAFTAs.
I mean, this year, Sinners is I that movie, small not that wasn't a huge budget, was it? I mean,
N
budgets I don't
it
understand.
was a big bu it was a big budget,
It
but it
was
was a
so
movie that
but it felt like a
I feel like
small
studio
film.
didn't know what to
Yeah.
do with it,
Yeah,
Amy,
it felt like a
and
small
that's w
indie film,
and it
and
had a
it was
February
so
release,
yeah.
and it's like
So it never felt
yeah,
like this is a movie that the studio made. It was like, 'cause
yeah.
those movies
It was
really are
Coogler's baby, it was like, "Hey, we owe Ryan Coogler one for Black Panther. Let's give him
yeah.
the let's give him
Well,
the
c
movie
that
he's
was
been trying to make
more that felt
forever."
more like a Hollywood film, although it was also really groundbreaking, but Sinners was, like, layered in so many ways, and it was
Yeah,
just, so delicious, and they weren't like well, Michael B. Jordan is pretty big, but, it didn't feel like
yeah,
but it didn't feel like it was peopled with all these famous
Right.
actors, studio wasn't trying to sell it.
yeah.
It was
Well, I mean,
just
Nick, think about just like you talk about, like, Kismet. You know, you
yeah.
put Michael B. Jordan in Fruitvale Station, if you're
Oh, yeah.
Coogler, and then you bet on or you don't even bet on it, you get lucky by the fact that that actor continued to basically accelerate his career
Right.
at a rate faster than your own, so that when you
Yes.
so that when you get to this place, that guy's a mega superstar.
Right.
Like,
That's
how many independent filmmakers have we been around, Nick, where it's like, you put that person in your movie and you hope that they blow up and they just don't, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah.
so it like, what a combo and what a
Right. I
incredible
mean, it is really
situation.
magic when it happens all together like that.
Yes.
When the script is really beautiful and the acting is all beautiful and oh, just amazing.
I
And then
heard from a
shot so
producer
beautifully. Anyway, so
I heard
Sinners,
from a
a movie
producer that reading Sinners' screenplay was incredible experience. And
oh,
so
I bet.
we're wrangling up this year's Oscar scripts are
Oh,
nominated for best film,
great.
and,
Yeah.
we'll have a download available on YouTube, uh, soon, I hope, where people can just
Yeah.
download and read this year's
Yes,
nominees.
yeah. It really does begin with the script.
Yeah.
The words are, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
without it, you don't have it, and look, it's an interesting poll in its simplicity, Nick, and my thought on it is similar to your thought, Nick, and yours, Amy, except that I think those small indie films have always been nominated, but they haven't always won, and
right.
now they're winning. So you
Yes.
had, the 2 movies from last year
True.
that were at the forefront of the awards were Anora, a
Mhm.
$6 million, you know, let's say just production budget film by Sean Baker, and The Brutalist, which was made for $10 million with Brady Corbett. Those were your 2 front runners. Now, the marketing dollars, the P&A is not added into that for anybody who wants to wink at that, but, they had more marketing dollars. I think Anora,
Mhm.
for example, spent 3x the production cost on marketing,
Right.
which helped them get to the finish line, I'm sure. But you go a few years before that, you have Everything Everywhere All at Once, which wasn't a small
That was
film, but it
another
wasn't a giant
that
film.
film. That
Yeah,
was another one I was just like, "What the hell is this?" It
yeah,
was
yeah,
I was so enamored of that movie, just I let
mhm,
it wash over me. Sinners 2 was kinda like a wash over you. You
yeah,
can't be thinking too hard
yeah,
because
Yep.
there's so many layers going on.
and the
It's not
visuals.
Experiential.
Sinners was not linear. It was just like, "Wow." Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
and it's been a
Ah,
trend, Nick. It's been a trend over the last few years.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
kinda maybe it started with Birdman, maybe with
Oh,
Michael Keaton.
Birdman's another good one. Yeah, yeah,
And
so
And
many
all nominated, right? But I think,
well,
like,
Birdman
so for
won.
me
I'm saying
yeah,
the
yeah,
winners being
but they're indies and
Nomadland won as
yeah,
this
they're indie,
small
they have that indie
film.
feel, right? But I
right.
think that for the audience so there another reason why I was asking the question is because I think that, at least for me, it's been changing over time, and I think, like you were saying, Amy, maybe it's more for me, it might be going more towards the of course again, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
yeah.
kinda
Yeah.
shifted into the not so much for me a little while as well, and the reason I was all in before, let's say when I was younger, is and I think the reason why people watch is, like, you see a little bit of yourself in this as well
Right,
because you really enjoyed those characters, right? You're like, "Yeah, I loved that. That was kind of part of your childhood, your growing
right.
up or part of your formative years." You're like, "I watched that movie. It meant something to me."
Yeah.
And then we hit a different stage in our lives and in society and in technology where we're more distracted now. So we're not just focused on these movies, we have social media, right? We got
Mm.
streaming, we got stuff coming at us all the time. So are we as an audience connecting with those films the way we used to? And I feel like we're not, right? It's like even in The Brutalist came out. Yeah, that might have been a phenomenal movie, but did a lot of, you say young people connect to that? Was it a meaningful
I don't
part of
think anybody
their
saw
Right,
it.
upbringing? That's what I'm saying. So you can't connect to those. So I think that maybe the shift will be if we get more movies that I would say the younger audience will actually say that this is part of my childhood. This is part of my upbringing. This is part of who I am. And I see that in that movie. I'll be more willing to watch the movies. I'll be more willing to rate the movies. I'll be willing to tell people about it. And I think that's what Sinners is that there's a cultural zeitgeist aspect to that film that creates a connection between it and the audience more
right,
so than some of the other films that I think we've seen over
right,
the past couple of years.
right.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, I think that sounds right to me. I think the audience for this show, this award show, has grown older, has grown up, and it's a TV show.
Mhm.
So I think that's maybe even the bigger point, Nick. It's a TV show. So it's not, when we were kids, we didn't have access to every film, certainly not award-winning films. Our parents were taking us to cartoons, right? So this is a show for adults. This is a show for grown-ups. And grown-ups are interested in it and should be more interested in it than young people. So really it might come down to the demographic of our YouTube subscribers, right?
Yeah,
So
and maybe it was me. Maybe I was too grown because I was watching it as a kid. I remember watching
I
it
was watching, but
from,
my mom made a big deal of it. We
yeah,
bet on it.
maybe we were yeah,
When
that's
we were
what
yo I was
I watched
younger,
it.
I watched it, and then
Yeah.
somewhere in my
The
maybe in my
celebrity.
30s, I remember we would have watch parties and make food that connected to each,
Same.
nomination, best picture nomination. We'd have, like, we'd make it like an evening event, and then you do the voting, and then we'd win prizes, and it was really kind of a watch party fun thing. And then at some point, unless there was something in the no somebody in the nominations that I cared about, like a film that I like everything oh, well, that maybe
Everywhere
that
all at
movie.
Yeah,
once.
everything everywhere all at once. Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. That movie I wanted to watch because there were so many that movie meant so much to me, and the
Mm,
fact that it won so many awards, it really healed my soul,
Mm.
It felt
mhm.
like, "Oh, I belong. We
Yeah,
belong."
you're seen
It
by it winning.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're seen. And Sinners, I feel the same way about.
yeah. Yep,
Growing up, there were no Asian American people to so for me,
yeah.
African Americans were my role models. I think for
That's
all the
awesome.
communities.
Alright, shout out.
Yes.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
blacks.
Yeah. So we identified, totally with the African American communities. Plus, Asian American communities, I'm not sure historically everywhere, but the Asian American, African American communities were right next to each other usually.
Yeah, yeah.
So they always interacted and they were always like together. I never felt the difference between us and them.
That's perfect.
So
I
even
I grew up
now,
in I grew up in 2 neighborhoods that worked just like that, so I can again
yeah,
attest to that
yeah, yeah,
being
it
the
was,
case.
yeah,
That's really fascinating, and the only thing I'll mention before we finish this audience poll is
okay,
because we gotta give some love to our sponsors, Nick.
okay,
We gotta shout them out, Nick, but before
Yep,
me
we
we
do
too.
should do
that,
that.
I just
Somebody
wanna mention
sponsoring
this
you, they
one
need
thing, which is that there was about what'd you say, Amy?
if they're supporting you, I'm behind it.
Love it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
You heard it here first. There was about a 15-year period where I think that actors got on stage and either got political,
Mhm,
pompous, or reckless, or all 3, and I'm thinking of specific instances. right? Like what damage was done by Will Smith slapping someone on stage, right? Where the everyday viewer's like, I'm done with that. Like this is foolishness, right? Or someone lecturing you about eating meat after they win an award, like Joaquin Phoenix, who I love. But look, bro, like you're not revolutionary because of your diet. Okay, like that's not a thing. Like, and we don't need to hear it from you. Like sometimes it's the messenger. It's why
Right.
it's why your mom would say to you when you were little, wait till your dad gets home. The messenger matters. And I think that we had the wrong messengers for a long time, and it really turns people off of the awards. So
Mhm.
anyway, you did the thing, Nick. Thank you very much for a
Yep.
very delicious audience polls. And as I mentioned, we're
Delicious.
going to talk we- we're going to talk about something delicious coming up. Shout out to Factor Mills. Let's give them a shout out right now. Hey everybody. Have you ever been snowed in during this winter, but still have no desire to spend time inside cooking? Like you wish you could go out, go somewhere, but you can't? That's where Factor comes in. Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs so you can eat well without planning, shopping, or cooking. And yes, it's still snowing up there in the East Coast. One of my go to winter meals lately is the garlic herb chicken with roasted vegetables. It's got lean protein, real ingredients, healthy fats, exactly the kind of meal I would cook if I had the time. And the great thing is, Factor already did it for me. This meal has no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and no refined seed oils. Those are really bad for you. It's exactly the type of healthy eating I'm looking for in my life.
That's awesome, man. Now, what's also cool is that Factor, with them, you're not eating the same thing every week. Factor rotates 100 different meals, 100, dude, including high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support options, and even ready to eat salads. Yes, they got salads too. They've also introduced the Muscle Pro, my brother, the Muscle
Mm.
Pro collection designed to support strength and recovery. And the best part, it's always fresh, never frozen, and ready in about 2 minutes. No prep, no cleanup, no stress, just real food that fits your and my schedule.
Yeah, so if healthy eating has been on your list this winter and going into spring, keeping those resolutions going, and look, the bottom line is Factor makes it ridiculously easy, right? We've been eating these, we've been using these. Trust us, they make it easy. It works for me, it works for Nick, and we hope it works for you too. So just head to factormeals.com/ make it 50 off and use code make it 50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. That's pretty crazy, Nick. So eat like a pro this month with Factor. This is for new subscribers only and varies by plan. One free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. Shout out to our sponsor, Anthropic, and the latest version of their AI model, Claude, guys. Okay, let's talk about Claude. Claude goes far beyond basic web search. Its research capabilities combine internal knowledge with deep web analysis to deliver comprehensive answers with clear citations, turning what used to take hours of digging into just a few minutes of focused insight. It's a true superpower when you're using Claude. One of my favorite features is how easily it connects with apps that I already use. So we've talked about this before. It can connect with GitHub, it can connect with Jira, it can connect with HubSpot and Notion and Google Workspace. But I love that you can take something from Notion, compile it, put it into Claude, and have it analyze it. You can play with a lot of different APIs and connections across what we use every day, like Airtable and Slack and things like this. Claude is great at connecting with all those things and bringing it all together in a way that you can manipulate it, play with it however you like. So becomes more than just a chat bot. It becomes a real, I guess, command center for your work.
That's right, man. And instead of jumping between platforms, Claude understands the context of your projects and helps you move faster. It's a kind of AI collaborator that thinks with you, whether you're, debugging code late at night, which I know, you love to do, right?
Mhm.
Organizing research or mapping out your next big creative or business move. And with Cowork, Claude's agent powered workspace, you can bring that same intelligence directly to your desktop, no terminal required. Just point Claude to a folder on your computer or connect tools like Google Drive or Gmail. Tell it what you need, and it can organize files, build spreadsheets, draft reports, and handle real tasks while you focus on the bigger picture.
Yeah, when we're preparing for an interview on the show, one of our most, I would say, time consuming activities and one of our most time consuming parts is really the researching of our guests. We're talking about 10, 15 hours a week. So that's where Claude's deep research feature has been incredibly useful. And right now, it's like everything is going the agentic way, and Claude is totally on top of that with Cowork. So instead of bouncing between dozens of tabs, Claude can pull together comprehensive research in minutes, analyzing articles, interviews, film credits, and industry context, all with clear citations so we know exactly where the information came from. That's really, really important. So if you're ready to tackle bigger problems like the one I just described, sign up for Claude today and get 50% off Claude Pro when you use our link, claude.ai/make it. That's claude.ai/make it right now for 50% off your first 3 months of Claude Pro. That includes access to all the features mentioned in today's episode. One more time, that's claude.ai/make it. And now, on to the show. And it's like we never left
You got that right.
because we're going to go right back to you, Nick, for some Filmmaker Q&A.
Awesome. I love it. This is just I think we have just a great guest for this because, Amy, because of your career, I had a lot of questions, right? I got like a whole list of them. I'm like, I got to pare these things down. It took me so long to just pare them down because, I can't use up all the time. But I do have a couple of questions for you. All right, you ready?
Oh,
Yes.
Of course she is. All right. So you've talked about how early in your career you were doing work that was actor adjacent, like The Gong Show, and that you were able to get insurance because you worked so much. So,
mm.
what tips do you have for aspiring actors who need to find employment while chasing their dreams? And maybe when they try to get that, waiter or waitressing job, they tell them, you don't have any experience, so you got to go find something else.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get a waitress job, and they said, "You don't have any experience," and I'm like, "How hard is it?" Anyway, so I think I dodged that bullet.
Mhm.
But again, it's like, these things pop up. I was doing improv, and then the improvisers all said, "Hey, the Gong Show is hiring union actors to come in, and you just come in with a character or some stupid, thing that you wanna do." And I had a character that I had done before in improv, which was a Japanese pop singer, and I thought, "Oh, I'll just go in and do the Japanese pop singer." So I did, and they said, "Oh, you're hired," and I actually won. I have a trophy. I got $780 or something
Hey.
later, and, after union scale. And, I mean,
Yeah.
I did several of them, and I I mean, and I remember my actor friends who were legit actor, not improvisers, were all like, "Oh, Amy, no." And I'm like, I'm getting paid and I have so I have no ego about any of that stuff. Even when I got All American Girl, a lot of the women that were my age, which was, I think, late 30s, and I was playing a grandma, they were like, "Oh, Amy," they were so sad for me, and I'm thinking, "This is the best character in the show. Like, this is a great character. Why would I say no to this?" Anyway, so again, yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
These things lead to other things, and then because I did that Gong Show, I think the casting person said, "Oh, we do these game show run-throughs. If you wanna do them, we pay, like" I don't know what it was like $30 an hour or something. You go in and just play games with these are games that aren't on television yet. They're, workshopping them, so you're figuring out if they're good or not. I got paid money to play games.
Do they still do this, Amy? I need to sign up.
There are
Yeah.
no, I don't think there are a lot of well, they must be, but these are all old games like The Pyramid and, you know, those shows
Okay.
have been around, so they're just doing the same thing. But these were shows that had not been on yet, and they were,
Mm.
it was kind of the heyday of game shows maybe around that time.
Well, they're
So,
coming back, and there's like a whole channel that features game shows now too. So,
good.
I mean,
They must
uh,
workshop them in some way,
yeah.
but it was great. It was really fun, and then, as you got closer, you would actually have celebrities come on, so you got to meet celebrities, and you played, like, contestants, celebrities. It was fantastic. So I got paid that, and then, uh, because I'd done voice work, but I knew people in LA, I did, and he said, "We'd have this Lifetime Medical Television." It used to be Lifetime Medical Television.
Hmm.
And I did all of the, narrations for surgeries show
Wow.
because I was really good cold reading, surgical stuff, and medical stuff. I was really good.
Can you give us any?
Well, I remember reflux esophagitis is very difficult to overcome, better known as
I need to get some medicine right now.
anyway, I mean, there's stuff
Cough
like that.
drop.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
man.
classic. She
Um,
just said it right out, like just reflux esophagitis. It's like,
reflux esophagitis. Yeah, I'm very good.
Mm.
well, that's awesome. Well, I think that the advice that I pull from that, honestly, is that the yes and again, right? Well, for
Okay.
you is yes, 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 and I
Mhm.
wonder if that's something that you would just tell everybody is like you should do improv because I don't think yes and is something that people really understand or have as part of who they are. But if you
No.
do improv, it's baked into you. Like you have no choice. You cannot be
Right.
successful in
No.
improv without that spirit.
No, and I've taught improv before, and I remember when I first started taking improv classes in San Francisco, um, the, uh, the teacher that I worked with had been in, big fancy things. He was really good,
Which
and
improv were you part of, Amy, by the way?
well, in San Francisco, I was part of several groups, but, uh, my one of my main groups was an Asian American group called Not My Fault. We were all Asian.
Got
Not
it,
my
okay.
fault, because Asians are always feeling like it's their fault.
They're like, yep,
I'm gonna write that down.
Anyway,
Not
yep.
my
So
fault.
all the guilt.
uh, but I remember in the beginning, he didn't like anybody like stand-ups would come in, and he didn't want people doing comedy. He
Mm,
wanted people to actually, uh, be authentic doing improvisation. So, people would automatically, naturally say no to everything. In improv, anything is possible. If somebody says, "Give me $100," naturally, the instinct of most people would be like, "I don't have $100." Well, you
Mhm.
have probably 1,000. You can have any amount of money in your pocket. Just say
Yeah.
yes.
right.
We're not asking for actually $100 from your wallet. It's like
Mm.
immediately people go to no. So when I taught, it would be the same thing when I taught improv. It's a natural reaction to resist because you think
Mm,
conflict is what actually builds a scene. Conflict doesn't do anything but stop a scene. So in real
I like
life,
it.
yeah, just like in real life, just if people butt heads, nothing happens. I think that's what isn't that negotiations? Like, I think people that are trying to stop a war in the Ukraine, maybe they have to learn how to say yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
Anyway,
and
yes, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. All right, all right. So here's my second one. I said, so you've been on sets with some of the most notable actors, directors, and writers of our time. But being amongst celebrity doesn't mean that things are always rainbows and roses on set. So can you describe a time when you found yourself on a toxic set and how that informed your career going forward?
yeah. I was shocked right after All American Girl. Um, ABC really wanted me to be on insert me into a show.
Mm.
So they put me on a show with Betty White,
Oh,
Marie Osmond, and Craig Ferguson of
okay
Craig
then.
and fame. And
Yeah.
I was gonna be Betty White's best friend. So again, I'm gonna be old. Betty's 75 or something, and I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be, like, in my 70s or 60s or something, so I had a gray wig, and I was an old Japanese lady friend. I'm sure Betty was like, "What the hell?" But I knew that the director and the producer, were not interested in having me, but they were sort of forced I was forced on them,
Mm.
so it was horrible. Betty White was wonderful. Marie Osmond was, uh, Marie Osmond. She was like, I don't know. But Betty White was and just the whole season working with her was worth it all, I think, even though there were times I just wanted to get fired because the director never made eye contact with me,
Hmm.
actually, like, tried to exclude me from everything, and this it's a comedy. He told the set, all the crew not to laugh ever during any rehearsals or any run-throughs, not to laugh, and I remember the producer, I forgot his name, Mark Jacobs or some Jacobs guy. He was horrible, and he would give everybody, a lesson in acting. Betty White, why would he even say he would
A
talk about
producer?
Meisner technique. Yeah, the producer guy.
Golly.
He's just a creep. And one time, I remember telling him, he goes, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Well, I just feel like I don't feel like I'm connected to you, you don't." And he said, "Well, what do you want me to go should we just go down to a motel and I was like, "What? I didn't ask for that. I just wanted to
Not that kind of connection.
ask."
Wow.
Just a horrible, horrible, horrible person. I managed to and Craig Ferguson and I, we were miserable, and he would come to my trailer, and he'd, like, smoke cigarette after cigarette and talk about how miserable he was, and he needed to move on, and he did eventually get out of that contract, and we were replaced with, a really lovely stand-up, forgot his name. Anyway, you'll look it up, right?
Yeah,
Somewhere.
yeah,
Was
Producer Papa Bear's all over it. PB's all over it, I'm sure.
he
Yeah, so
was so
but
and,
you went through that though, like, but, so
anyway
you went through this terrible experience.
yeah, and I thought I never, well, this is the first. I had another one just like it,
Oof.
but
Mm.
yeah, very similar. And I'm the girl that just names names. I don't care. Anyway,
Go for it.
Love it.
I mean, because I know one of them. Oh, I don't know. You've got 2. I feel like I know what the second one is,
well, you
but
might. This one was really bad, but Betty White made it worth it. Totally.
okay.
She was such a North Star because she just was so professional, and no matter how miserable things were happening, like her dog died, and she had horrible knee surgery, and all kinds of stuff were going on, she always uplifting, lovely. She could remember, because they changed lines in the middle of taping. They
Mhm.
would give her a new monologue, and she'd go, "Okay," and then put it down and say it perfectly. She was
Wow.
just brilliant. Okay, next one. Is it this one, The Naked Truth?
No. I
Oh
I
my
was
god, is it Cat in the Hat?
yep. That's a
That was a bad one, but that wasn't as well, that was bad because I had a baby, 2.5-year-old
Oh,
that we didn't see
Mhm.
for anyway. But,
okay.
The Naked Truth. Téa Leon this was a show that every season they changed they had 3 people they kept, Mark Roberts, Holland Taylor, reasonable, Holland Taylor is genius,
Mhm.
and then Téa Leoni, but Téa didn't wanna do it ever, but she had a contract, so
Oh,
we were the new people. Me, Jim Rash, Chris Elliott, and Nick Verica. No, Tom Verica. Just we had a little dorm, and we would come back after rehearsal and just debrief and just kinda go, "Okay, what was that?" Because Taya was so miserable, she would not read the actual words. She would constantly, like, swear in between everything and say, "Who, what kind of shit is this?" and blah, 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 and rehearsals were horrible, and ugh. It was and then my character, because it's a tabloid, I was the tabloid photographer. So just before our show started, Princess Diana was killed
yep.
in
Oh.
that horrible car accident.
Yeah.
being chased by tabloid photographers. So they were like, "Ooh, we don't know what to do with you now." They
Yep.
said, "We think we're gonna change it. You're gonna be more like Roseanne." And I'm like, oh."
That's a switch.
So literally the whole season, it was like they just had to keep me because I had a contract. But it was like they just didn't know. And then in the middle of the season, I still remember because Mark Roberts was also just miserable. I'm naming names. Mark Roberts was miserable, and I don't know what was wrong with him, but he could not remember his lines, and he'd complain about the scripts and stuff, which is really a no-no. I mean, writers are not
Mm,
trying to write bad scripts, I think. So, he'd complain about the scripts, but when he had his episode, he actually had, um, cue cards. So he was
Mm.
reading his scripts off on the
oh,
side.
wow.
Yeah, and during taping, maybe during that show, he kissed one of the writers
Uh,
during, when they were, like, moving stuff. Anyway, so, we had, like, this break, and I was finished with my scenes, and they came into the dressing room and said, "Amy, we just fired Mark. Can you do his scenes?" And I went, "Okay."
How does that I don't even know how that
That
even
is
works.
what?
yeah.
But I kinda knew what I mean, I didn't know word for word what he said, but, taking a cue from Betty White, I took a look and I went, "Okay." But during the taping, I remember him we were doing a scene and he came into the elevator and he says, "I think I just screwed up." And I went, "What?" And then they said, "Action, doors open," and we go out, do the scene, come back, and I said, "What happened?" He goes, "I kicked one of the writers." And I went, "Ah, action," and we go out and we come back, and then he's
Can't do
fired.
that.
Yeah, and then I did the rest of the show. I did all his stuff for that
Wow.
episode. But it was
And you
just a
said yes.
miserable yeah, I said, "Yes, yes, exactly." Even and
Mhm.
he licked me one time. That was one of those shows that I remember at craft services, he came up and licked my face. "What do you do?" He was so weird.
I guess
Yes,
you lick
and,
them
right?
back. I don't
Yes,
know.
Yes,
and.
and. Yes, and.
I love it.
And then
I
Cat in
love
the
it.
Hat, that was just sad because I was there forever, and I
Yeah.
didn't see my daughter, and Mike there was no relationship. I don't even if I saw him now, he wouldn't remember me at all. I don't think he didn't interact with anybody.
Yeah,
Who?
that was Mike Myers.
Mike
Yeah,
Myers.
Mike
Okay,
Myers,
yeah, yeah.
I think maybe he has I'm not a doctor, but I feel like he might have Asperger's or something because he just
Yeah,
has no social skill at
yeah.
all. He's very odd. So that wasn't
Got it.
fun.
Yeah, but it again, PB hit the nail on the head. You know, the advice again is yes and. It was difficult, it was trying, at times it was
Yeah,
terrible, but somehow you just kept yes anding your way through it,
Yeah.
which I
right.
think is leading to well, I won't spoil the other questions that I have. So the next one is interesting. I often wonder if actors ever really escape their characters or if they're always living with them somewhere in the back of their minds. So, do
Hmm.
you ever find yourself reliving characters, daydreaming about them, or even saying lines out loud?
No, I don't. But I do, like, people ask me if I take wardrobe from shows that I do because I can't because if I'm wearing that wardrobe, I feel like I'm that character. So I don't ever wanna
Oh, that's
wear
cool.
anything that
That's
is
interesting.
the thing. But I feel like all the characters that I've done, they're somewhere in me. Like, Just Add Magic, my character is a witch who is incredibly narcissistic. I feel like
Mhm.
she's not aware that she's actually hurting anybody or doing she's not intending to hurt people,
Yeah.
but she just wants to get what she wants. And we know people like that. So, I just tap into my narcissism.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
just I'm
Mama
not trying to
P.
be evil because I little kids will come up and go, "Are you bad? Are you a bad person?" No, I'm not bad. I just care about me more than
You're right.
anybody.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
always thinking about I'm always in awe of actors because you're able to memorize these so many lines and just embody these characters. And I do wonder, like, how do those characters just leave you? But it's a profession, it's a skill where you're
Yeah.
moving from one to the next, and you leave the last one behind and you pick up the next one, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most important thing when I'm doing anything is that once the words are just they're authentic to me, then I know that I'm good, that I'm there. Like if I have to work really hard to make like I don't memorize lines, they have to make sense to me and they come out
Hmm.
then naturally and it's fine.
I like it. I like it. All right. So here's my last one. So you built a steady, decades-long career across film, television, and voice acting, from early network sitcoms to streaming era series. What is the secret? And we're not going to let you say yes and to staying consistently employable in Hollywood.
Hmm.
Well, I think I'm very professional. I'm always early. You ask any AD, they know that I will be there 15 minutes early.
Okay.
I'm always
Helpful.
early. I'm the first one on set. If I'm doing theater, I'm the first one in my places. They say places, oh, Amy's already there. I'm and I'm prepared with my lines. I know my lines backwards and forward. I mean, I know I'm there. I'm
Mhm.
prepared. And I tell all the young kids that come on. And I also think attitude is really important. It's like respect for everybody on the crew, not just the director. You're not sucking up to the director or the ADs or anybody. You're just kind to everyone because it's really a collaboration. All the people, the lighting people, the grips, you're always in somebody's way too when they're trying to move equipment. It's always like,
Yeah.
"Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm coming through hot points." You're like, how do I thought I was out of the way, but I guess I'm not." Um, I just think we have to realize and guest stars, I mean, I've been guest stars and felt like, "Oh god, they just don't wanna have to deal with me." So I always wanna welcome if I'm a regular, I wanna welcome everybody that comes to the set because we are in this together. We're working on a show together, and I love those are the best directors too, the ones that, um and you can kinda sense when they're willing to collaborate, and I will, suggest changes sometimes, but I always have an option, so I just don't say, I'm not feel comfortable saying this." I always say, "How about if I say this instead?" And they go,
Mhm.
"Oh, give that a try." So, because I also write, so I have a sense
Hmm.
that, people can't come up with stuff automatically if you say, "I don't wanna do this." You have to give some options. Um, yeah, so all these things, it's like we gotta realize we're in a collaboration and be prepared and professional and kind.
I love it. And the last one you mentioned is bring solutions, not problems.
Yeah.
I love
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like what Daniel Radcliffe said recently on an interview. I think he was on the Hot Wings show, Hot Ones. Shout out to
Ugh.
Sean Evans. And he said that it's funny that, um, actors can make mistakes all the time. Sometimes you get like 10, 20 takes of the same line. But if a crew member messes up, we're like, "What are you doing?" Or like I
Yeah.
think he was specifically talking about the person who has to pull focus, which is highly technical, by the way, especially in
Yeah.
scenes where the actor in the scene is moving, and he's like, "That's crazy." And I think what you said about always being in someone's way, Amy, like showing up early, it just shows respect to the whole collaboration, and being kind to
Mhm.
everyone just shows that you get it. Like, "Hey, I'm making mistakes too. Even though I'm the star of this thing, I'm also making mistakes. I'm not gonna call out your mistakes when you make maybe far less than I did." Right?
Mhm.
So, I love that. And you did it, Nick.
Well,
That's a filmmaker
yeah.
Q&A.
Yeah. Go
Oh,
ahead,
I
next
just
Amy.
thing,
please
when
do.
we have the option, we do 22 takes or whatever of stuff. So
Yeah.
oftentimes it's technical. I always think of it as another opportunity as an
Yeah.
actor to
Hmm.
be able to bring something
Get
different.
it?
Yeah.
Make it even better, yeah.
Bring something
Yeah.
else to the performance.
Yeah.
We did a film called Adult Interference that you can go watch right now on Tubi or Amazon Prime or Apple, everybody.
Oh, good.
And there's a scene where our main character, Beau Treadwell, realizes for the first time that his crime has gone viral on social media and that the world now he's now infamous, and he doesn't realize this.
Oops.
And when he gets upset about finding this out from his good friend, he sort of calls him a name. And we had him on set riff the insult, I think 30 times. So he did 30
30
unique
times?
insults. Yeah, but everyone was different, to your point, Amy.
Yeah, yeah,
Every
yeah.
time he said something different, and, we landed on one that was sorta in the middle. I think the funniest one ended up on the cutting room floor, but
Yeah.
that was that whole thing of, "Okay, I have another opportunity, like, let's say something
Yeah.
funnier this time, let's try it this
Yeah.
way, let's get more raunchy, let's take it this direction, let's be more goofy with it." So, I love that. So, now we have actually done Filmmaker Q&A, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
Thank you,
And thank
Amy.
you, Amy. Appreciate
Yeah.
Oh,
that.
you're welcome.
And absolutely. Now we turn our attention to the long-haired, bearded, and hatted producer, Papa Bear. That's you. Can you bring us some things we should know? I'm low on
I
information
think
this week. I need to know some more stuff.
you need to know some stuff?
Mhm. And you know some more stuff.
Okay. Well, this one takes a little bit of setup, so I've got a kind of a long
Classic Papa Bear preamble.
Yeah, I know, right? All right,
preamble.
sit back, folks. What do we got going on here?
Well, Amy, your ethnic identity and your career are primarily characterized by two things. First, being Japanese American, and more particularly Asian American, since you've played many Asian characters using Japanese, Asian, and Chinese accents. And then secondly, you're recognized for your prolific television presence.
Mhm.
Also, most particularly for TV series. You've done more TV series during your career than any other media type. In fact, your IMDb reveals that you've done 139 TV series credits, followed next by 59 movie credits. So, quite a record given the history of American television's slow appetite for the inclusion of ethnic minorities. So, in honor of your achievement in television and your ethnic forerunners, I ask,
I
what was the
ask.
first?
I ask.
I ask. I ask.
Good
Ask
grief.
not.
All right, go ahead.
I ask. Here's the question.
Okay.
What was the first U.S. television series to star an Asian American actor?
Oh,
Who was the actor, and in what year did it first air?
wow. Amy's definitely going to get this one right.
Are you talking star, like the lead character?
Yeah,
Number
actually, this was yeah.
I
Say
don't
the
know, was it
question
Pat
again, PB.
Morita? Pat Morita? He
That's what
did
I'm
that
thinking too.
yeah, Pat Morita with, Pat and Me or what I forgot. It was he and his daughter. Was that it? No.
Well,
Well, we're going to give Nick and Chris a chance to put in
read it
their
one more
guesses
time,
before I
PB.
reveal. What was the first U.S. television series? So
Mhm.
we're looking for the name of the series to
Mhm.
star an Asian American actor.
Okay.
And who was that actor, and in what year did it first air?
Oh, what year? Mm,
So you get three things you can get right.
Wow.
wow.
I
The
feel
name
like
of the
Pat Morita
series.
is probably
who-
a strong, strong guess.
Because
that's a good strong guess.
it was because he, had been in it that, uh what was his name, though? What was his character name?
I'm gonna go.
What was the name of the show?
I think you're
Yeah.
tricking us, PB, and I'm gonna go
South
with David
something new.
Carradine. I'm gonna go with David Carradine. I think you're tricking us.
Pretending to be Asian? That's not good. He's not Asian.
I think
That's
he's
right.
tricking us.
Don't do that one.
No. I don't know the year, PB, but I'm gonna say Bruce Lee in the Green Hornet.
Bruce Lee, Green Hornet would have
Bruce
been
Oh,
Lee.
somewhere in the
he wasn't
70s.
was he the
Yeah, he
star?
was. Yeah. You couldn't have it without him. So
Well,
the Green
that's
Hornet
true,
was the
but what
main guy, but he was his
I
sidekick. It's like Batman and Robin. Come on now.
yeah,
Robin
I
is a
don't
star.
Mm,
yeah,
Robin.
I don't
I'm
know.
I don't
I'm
know.
going Bruce Lee in the Green Hornet. I
Bruce
don't know
Lee.
the year. I don't know the year. It's
And so nobody wants to throw in there George Takei.
George Takei was on my
Oh, man!
mind because that's
Well,
Star Trek,
he
but he
was
wasn't
on
the star,
Halloween.
was he?
Well, no, he wasn't. So that's not the answer.
Yeah.
this guy
Oh,
throwing
no.
curveballs.
Nick, whose idea was it to put superheroes in tights in the first place?
Whoever hooked up the
That's
Superman.
another things
Yeah,
we should know.
Like,
right,
why is
exactly.
Robin in all those tights and Batman with them, and why are they running around in tights solving crime?
No looking it up.
Why wouldn't they solve crime? Why wouldn't they solve crime in other clothes? You know what I mean?
This is on the honor system.
Anyway, that's just my curiosity. We'll figure that out later.
I'm
Javier,
dying
what
to
is
hear
the
who it is.
answer?
Yeah. I don't. Who is it, PB?
Here we go.
David
Aired on the
Carradine.
Dumont Television Network
Whoa.
from August 27th, 1951 to November 21st, 1951. The Gallery of Madame Lusong was the first ever U.S. television show starring an Asian American born in Los Angeles in 1905 to Asian American parents. Her birth name, Wong Lin Song, known by her stage name as Anna May Wong,
Oh my
made
God!
history
She
in
was like,
1951.
she just only did films. She had a TV
No,
series?
she had a TV series. She played an art gallery, head of an art gallery. She had a chain of them, and she had to do a lot of detective work to make sure that the art pieces that ended up in the galleries were legitimate pieces. And
That's fantastic.
Papa Bear, that is a thing we should know. Can you please give the name of the actress and the name of the show one more time, please?
Okay. The Gallery of Madame Lusong, spelled Liu dash Tsong.
Oh wow.
Wow.
This is why we spell things on the show, Nick. All right, go ahead, PB.
For editor Kate. And her stage name is Anna, Anna, May, May, Wong, Wong.
Oh, I love this.
Wow.
She was
well
beautiful.
done, PB.
PB, take a bow. Take a bow, PB.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. That makes me so happy. As early as 1951. That's really great.
That might be.
And that network, the DuPont television network, went out of business. And guess what happened to all her episodes?
Was it DuPont Chemicals? Plastics, PB?
No.
No,
Dumont, not DuPont, and Dumont.
Dumont.
Dumont. Yeah.
Dumont. Okay, got it. Yeah, tell us what happened.
They went out of business. So all the footage was dumped in the Hudson River.
No.
Why
by
would
their creditors?
I'm not sure.
About to say, I would think so.
From what I understand, that they were clearing out the building and they just dumped everything.
Right.
I guess that was before EPA. I don't know.
but still, it's just a foolish thing from a archival, from a posterity standpoint. Why would you throw out all your work?
Who's the creditors?
Now, there were some.
They must be on the run from the mob.
Yeah, there were some of their things that were preserved, but not of her show. All of her show episodes were lost.
Wow. That's
in the river.
Whoever listens to this and watches this, we need to start a project almost like Chris Haley style to archive and like figure out like where this film is. Let's get to the bottom of the river. Let's scrape it. Let's get the film back. See if we can preserve any of this stuff. Probably not.
Yeah, like digging up the Titanic.
Yeah, let's dig up the Titanic, man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, but
what a good thing.
She did movies. She was a model. So
Well,
Very
Amy,
prominent. She
next time you're hanging out with the ladies, you're gonna have something for them, I think. I think you're gonna have something new, something different at the next cocktail party you go to for sure. That is
she was
fantastic, PB. Thank you so much for dropping that things we should
We
know
should
on the
know.
people.
Yeah.
Now, Amy, are you
Yes.
ready to clear the set?
Okay.
Let's
All
clear
right.
it.
You ready to clear it? Let's clear it.
Sure.
All right. What are your top 3 films all time?
Well, for me, groundbreaking was The World of Susie Wong,
Mhm. Okay.
Flower Drum Song, full of Asians dancing and singing. Uh, and I guess The Wizard of Oz really was, we watched that every year at Christmas, the whole
Yeah.
family. Those were great, because everybody was a misfit
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
that's right.
search of the land of Oz. Anyway, that was good. I was always drawn to things that were people were misfits or, if they could sing and dance and be Asian, that was exciting.
Here in Nashville, for years, we had a very popular restaurant called Susie Wong's House of Yum.
Mm,
Real talk.
sounds tasty.
Its
I know,
claim
you
to
put
fame
"yum" in the name.
I
Yeah,
know.
well, its claim to fame is that you weren't allowed to change any items on the menu. You couldn't be like, "I don't want gluten."
Wow.
They they would just tell you,
Can
"Go
you
eat somewhere
imagine?
else at Susie Wong's House of
I've been in
Yum."
Chinese restaurants where they're like, "What? No."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. So let me get wait, did you say 3 or did you say 2?
I said 3. I said 3. The World of Susie Wong is one that where she was in, Hong Kong
Mhm.
and it was a whole different thing, but then it made me think of Flower Drum Song, which was very big. I just followed all
Oh,
of Nancy Kwan's whatever she did, I was like and then I finally met her in LA, and we're good friends now. She looks like she's, 30. She
oh, wow.
but
Amazing.
she's so delightful, and she still has that Hong Kong Chinese accent, kinda British, a little but
Okay,
she's
so we got
and
World of Susie Wong, Flower Girl Song,
Doug
and Wizard
Song.
of Oz, right?
Yeah, those are my 3.
Boom. Name the film you're embarrassed to admit you haven't seen.
Star Wars, I haven't seen any Star Wars. Sorry.
That is amazing.
Well,
Why not?
in the beginning, I was living in Japan and it didn't come or I don't know what happened, and then I didn't realize that Star Wars didn't really matter if you saw the first one, you could see the second, and if it
Yeah,
went out
yeah.
of order, it didn't matter, but it was too late. Too late! And
Fair
I'm not
enough.
gonna binge watch it, so
Name the film that everyone loves, but you hate.
huh, that's a hard one. Oh gosh. You should have prepped me for this. I don't know. What ah,
We like the unique, original, authentic reaction to these,
my
you know?
my my face going, "Huh?"
Yeah, like, "What?"
Uh 'Cause, normally no, I don't
And for you, I can you know what I'll do? I'll add TV show
you
to it.
know what? I think everybody loved Anora, and it just
Yeah.
disturbed me.
Oh, yeah, which part? Like, was it the violence, the
Well, I
sex?
think it was I think it was just her the whole sense of oh, that one about the kids in Florida, that was bothered me too.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah, yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
It was up, but it was just bothered me. I think if it
Tangerine
disturbed
Girl or Tangerine or whatever?
yeah, no, oh, Tangerine? No, that was difficult too. I think ever since I had a child
Mhm.
some movies are more disturbing than others. Like
Yeah.
Anora, I guess I just imagine my daughter in those situations, and it just makes me sad.
Yeah. I'm a girl
Can't hang
dad, and I
yeah,
that's a tough one for me too, and there is a theory that the Academy Award loves any movie about a a sex worker.
they do, I
Like
think. They love well, that's downtrodden and has to suffer for a bunch of stuff, and I think she
yeah,
did that she was wonderful in it, but it was, like, disturbing. So
yeah.
I didn't enjoy watching it.
Yeah,
Ah.
it's like I think there's something like Amy, I think there's like 22 films
Mhm.
that have won for best film that were about sex workers.
Sex workers. Well, The World
Something
of Suki
like an
Wong was
enormous number like that.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
overlooked yeah.
it's very yeah, it's very, very, very,
It
very,
was
very,
very
very
yeah, it's very hard.
curious. Okay, what's your favorite cheat day meal?
Tacos or burritos, Mexican food. That's great.
What exactly though? What do you get? Like make me hungry right now.
When I was in San Francisco, I
Have
would
you
go to
had dinner yet,
Roxy.
Chris?
The
No, I have
Roxy
not.
Theater in San Francisco had all of, like, the art films and stuff, and they allowed you to eat whatever. So I would go to La Cumbre, which is right around the corner, and get
Mhm.
a carne asada burrito with black beans, rice, cheese, sour cream, avocado,
Ooh.
everything in it, and eat it in the movie theater while I was watching whatever was playing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You'd eat it in the dark?
Yeah, everybody was eating burritos, I think. It was that theater, one time, they had a show called Garlic is as Good as 10 Mothers
Oh,
by Les Blank. Do you know
yeah.
this movie?
I know Les
Yeah,
Blank.
and they had, like, toaster ovens in the lobby roasting garlic, and then when we came out of the theater, they put that, roasted garlic on French bread, and we it was so that theater was the best theater, the Roxy
Mm. That would have
in the
killed
Mission
Nick.
District. Oh,
I like
so
garlic.
good.
He can't do that.
Yeah.
Now we have a historic theater here called the Roxy that's been
Uh-huh.
shut down since right after World War II.
Oh,
It's just been
no.
sitting there, and
Somebody gotta buy it.
right, there's this sort of push now by some film people in town to bring the
Yeah,
Roxy back to prominence here, and it's
yeah.
got that historic name, and it's in historic East Nashville where all the creatives live,
Oh, man,
and
yeah.
we will see what happens. I've been
Well, you
involved
know,
with a lot of those
you
groups.
know, Quentin Tarantino bought the Vista Theater in my neighborhood in
Yeah,
LA and refurbished it, and they just show there's so many films that everybody wants to see, and they don't necessarily go you wanna see it on the big screen,
yeah, and
and
sometimes they're hard to find.
some films are hard to find, but also some films you wanna see, but now everybody's watching in their little tiny and even a lot of those
Yeah,
Cineplexes
yeah.
have tiny little theaters. It's like, no, you wanna see movies on the big screen with other people,
Yeah,
and it
again,
won't
that's a
feel
collaboration. It's a communal
yeah,
experience. You're right.
yeah, yeah,
That's the thing that no one speaks about enough. I feel like in terms of this sort of competition between streaming and, theater is that
right,
you're out with the people, and when people
yeah,
bring that up, they bring it up as a negative, and they're cherry picking these little incidents or whatever, but in
right,
general, we survived and beat out the, Neanderthals because we
mhm,
were communal, and we
right.
hunted as groups, and we camped as groups, and we could move quickly as groups. So, I think there's really something to that. Alright, last one I have to ask you, alright? Better for addressing a conflict as an actor in your acting career, is it better to keep it aloha or to have to just smack a bitch?
You mean when I'm working or what? I don't understand the
Yeah,
question
like, if you have a
exactly.
if you have a conflict you have to resolve in this business as an actor, what's the best path to go down if you had to pick one?
Oh, I think keep it aloha. I mean, conflict never resolves anything, really. It
Yeah,
just shuts down the other person. So I say keep it aloha, keep it open, try to get, them to see you.
yeah,
And usually it works. I mean, I think as long as you're not attacking anybody, they are open to listening. So, and
yeah.
I try
Yeah,
to keep open to listening.
I think
it's
that's
how you say it, how you deal with the conflict. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. There's so much in the saying, and I've had to learn that myself in a major way. Like just in the last 5 years, there are things that I've said and done that apparently my face is doing something I don't realize it's doing, and like my tone is different than I'm like the tone that comes out of my mouth is not the tone that my brain is telling me I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what was the problem with that? Did you hear yourself? No, I guess I didn't.
That's
I guess I did
hilarious.
not hear myself.
Yeah.
So, I
Okay.
think that's incredible advice, but nothing can be more incredible than your presence on this show,
Oh,
Amy,
you're so
and,
sweet. Thank you. You guys are
uh
all so great. I love you.
no, we love you even more, and, this has just been such a pleasure. This has been an absolute blast. We'll end the show the way we end every show, which is to ask our guest, "What does it mean to make it?"
I feel that, well, you know, my dream, because I love to act, my dream is because people ask all the time, "Are you retired? Are you still working?" I'm like, I'm glad I'm still working, but I know that I can create my own, uh I can be creative without somebody hiring me. I can write my own stuff. I can do things. Anyway, I making it means that I have died on stage. I have I just keep running until the batteries give out. I just, keep creating, keep learning, keep, you know, m just embracing life. I have a daughter that I love. All these things, it's just the more I'm able to be in this world doing what I love to do, I feel as though that's making it.
That's huge, and what it makes me think of is that you're open, you're saying yes, and you wanna squeeze every single drop out of
Try
life,
to,
and
yeah.
I think everyone on this show feels the same way. Nick had to leave
Mhm.
early, I think, so I'm gonna wrap the show up for us. Can you tell us, Amy, quickly wait, is Nick back?
Nick just had to go to the rec.
I think Nick is gonna try to come back for the ending? Alright. Anyway,
Sneaky.
Sneaky, welcome back, sir. We were just, asking Amy where we can find her on social media, on the internet, where people can
Oh,
see your work, get in touch with you. Share whatever you'd like to share.
well, I have a website,
Mm,
amyhillactor.com, and
mhm.
you can actually get my solo show, 99 cents. There's a link I send for 99 cents, because, not making money off that. Uh, and then I think the Gong Show might be on there. I also
Nice.
have a YouTube channel, Amy Hill Actor.
Wow.
Everything is
We
Instagram, Amy Hill
followed you on
Actor.
all those,
But
by the way.
huh?
We followed you on all those handles today, by the way.
Oh, good. So it's all
Yep,
Amy Hill Actor because there's other Amy Hills out there that aren't actors. So
yep.
that's how I separate myself.
There you go.
They're all lovely people, I'm sure. They're artists and writers, and they're very creative, but they're not actors.
They're
So,
not they're will a real Amy Hill please stand up? I mean, come on now.
and well,
Okay.
yeah, 100 people will stand up. It's not
You're right.
unfair.
There's only one. Shout out to all you other Amy Hills out there, but
Yeah,
we got
fantastic
the
people.
we got the real we got the real McCoy right here.
Amy Hill
Amy, this
Actor.
is incredible, and
Thank
you heard
you.
her first, guys. Go to amyhillactor.com. Go to Amy Hill Actor on Instagram and on X and on TikTok. You can find her there. And go see her work, support her shows, things she's doing. Do you wanna plug the show you're on now?
I'm on a show called Ballard. We're shooting the 2nd season now. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a spinoff of Bosch, and it stars Maggie Q, Asian American.
Boom.
Uh,
There you go. Get that.
Right.
Shout out to Maggie Q.
she's the star. Yeah, she's fantastic. Really lovely. Everybody's really good, and anyway, so we're shooting the 2nd season. The 1st season's already up and running, so you could binge that if you want. And I just finished a film in Mexico. It's a black comedy that's bilingual, Spanish and English. So I speak a little bit of Spanish in it,
Mhm.
and I play a New York photographer, and it's was really, really fun. 6
Yeah.
weeks of filming in Merida.
Has the name been set yet?
Yes, it's Flowers para los Muertos.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
Love that, and
Italian.
I believe your co-star is, the young lady who had an incredible role on the show The Chi?
Yes, Yolanda Ross, who,
Yolanda Ross, yes. Shout out to her.
I
She's
knew her
fantastic.
'cause she's fantastic. She's really wonderful. So it was just, such a joy to work with her, and the rest of the cast is all they're not actors. They were all local
Oh,
people. Yeah, it's really kind of special. The local people, when they get hired to act, they take it so seriously.
yeah.
That's
And
good.
and,
That's good.
um,
Incredibly
and I will
grateful
just tell
and
you
it
this, like Mexico is full of artists.
oh,
Chock full of
Mérida
artists.
is like
The
an
most
artist community for sure. It was
Yes.
Yeah.
just amazing. Such a great time. I loved
It's
it
the
so
most
much.
underrated thing about it. It's like, for the average American viewpoint is like, "Oh, cartels and this, that." No, no, no.
Oh,
It's
no.
art and fashion and food,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
is what Mexico is really all
It
about.
was
So
just great. Yeah.
shout out to Mexico and to all those artists, and shout out to you, Amy.
Thank
Guys,
you.
once you follow Amy, go check out her work, go watch Ballad on Amazon Prime, come over and find us. We're at the Make It Podcast on YouTube. You can just search for the Make It Podcast and we'll come right up. While you're there, subscribe, like, share a video, go to our store, go to our community page and vote on some of our posts. We are super active there. We have lots of resources for you there. So do find us. If you're listening on Apple Podcast and on Spotify, you can rate us 5 stars. If you have 30 extra seconds, leave us a review. It really matters. It's so big in terms of discoverability on those particular platforms. Okay. Quick announcement. This will be this past week that just passed was the last week we are going to do audio segments on the audio side, right? This is audio only segments of the show. We are still going to do them on YouTube. So if you like those little breakdowns that we do, how we chop the episode up and share them, come to YouTube and watch them there. I promise you the video is better than the audio, most likely anyway. But you'll still get all the full episodes on Friday on Apple and on Spotify, along with our audio versions of summaries and film brief. So you'll have that there. Last but not least, if you want to follow us on social media, we are _ Make It Podcast everywhere. That's TikTok, Instagram, and X. We are at The Make It Podcast on Facebook. We respond to 100% of DMs and comments. So do reach out to us. And as Nick always says, engage. We will be there for you and help answer any questions or address any thing you want to talk about, frankly. Okay. With that, I pass it over to the newly returned to the show, Nick, to leave us with the credo.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's some housekeeping on that one, man. Riverside, we love this platform. It's amazing. But yeah, it just decided it didn't like me. And it was like, we're
Uh,
not doing that anymore. You're done for today, Nick. I was like, nay, I shan't be done. I shall come back. I shall come back renewed and reformed and ready to go. So
and not as a
anyway,
horse.
no, nay. But with that, I have to say, Amy, thank you so much for your
Oh, thank
time.
you.
We do appreciate this. It went as we expected. We got the laughs, we got the love, we got the lessons, we got all of it, and we appreciate you for that.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, our pleasure. And with that, I will say to our filmmaking friends, fans, family, and followers out there, be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Nick, Amy, talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right,
Appreciate you
Papa
guys.
Bear, you're the
Always.
best.
See you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.